Now I've got a Caravan to hitch up to this thing, so let's get on the road. I've never really towed anything this size before. We're gonna plug this one into the van.
Van's going about 2,600 kilograms.
What the bloody hell's going on here? We've got the air conditioning running, so you could essentially run it all night. In this video, we're going to be doing a bit of towing with the Ford Ranger Wildtrak plug-in hybrid. So this thing gets a 2.3 litre turbo petrol engine under the bonnet. That's good for 138 kilowatts and 411 Newton meters of torque. It also gets the plug-in hybrid powertrain. So the hybrid system in this gets an 11.8 kilowatt hour battery, which is good for about 45 to 50 Ks of electric driving range. I've just been charging this at home in the garage, just on a normal wall socket, and it's about 6 to 7 hours for a full charge, so that you can use that full 45 Ks to 50 Ks of range. Or you can also use this as a generator if you're caravanning and you're off the grid or at an unpowered site. You can use this as a generator, which I'll show you a bit later in this video. This one's a Wildtrak, so it's one that basically everyone wants. It's very comfortable, it's kitted out inside, all the bells and whistles. Now I've got a Caravan to hitch up to this thing, so let's get on the road. Alright, so I've never really towed anything this size before. To be honest, I haven't really done too much towing in my life, but we're straight into the narrowest streets possible for someone towing for their first time. Fantastic. There we go. I haven't damaged a $80,000, $90,000 Caravan. Perfect. That's my job done for the day.
Well, not as yet.
Well, 4 turns in.
We've only got 100 yards.
So I've got the old man coming and doing the review with me today. It's funny, I with a different car every week. I've never seen him run so fast when I pulled up out the front and started hooking up the Caravan. So we got him coming too.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed. The yellow colour reminds me of something, but yeah, no, it's a beautiful colour. Looks spectacular. Well presented.
All right, mate, so you've done some towing in your time. How's this Ranger hybrid go?
Very impressed, very impressed. I was a little bit sceptical to start with a 2.3 litre motor. However, it's doing a fine job. It's towing well. With the van's going about 2,600 kilograms, and the only time you can really feel it behind is when you hit bumps.
And how are the brakes going on it?
Brakes are fantastic. Brakes are fantastic. We've got it set on intermediate mode on the computer system, and they're working just fine. Also, we're running about 200 kilos on the ball, and the car hasn't sagged much at all. We will take a measurement, and we're not using any weight distribution bars as well. So it's just hooked up as you back up to it. It's doing an excellent job. On the way up here, I was running it in the EV charging mode. So I was running 9.2 litres per 100 on the way up, but that was charging the battery. The battery was at 0 when I left, so about 140, let's say 150 Ks, and we've topped the battery up to about 50%. Which I actually think is pretty good in terms of regenerative, or using the engine to charge it up. So we can then use that battery to run the van a bit later when we park it up. I was just going to ask, how's it going off the mark with the weight behind it? Well, I just gave it a footful then, and it pulled away quite nicely actually, kicked back a couple of gears, but went from 50 to 80 real quick. Bloody impressed.
I was reading some comments and stuff online, and people were saying once you run out of battery, you're kind of stuffed. You're stuck with the 2.3. But the other thing is, when you go caravanning, you just drop your van off and then you go driving around. You're not towing the van absolutely everywhere you go. So you can just pop it into charging mode and charge it up. And if you're on an unpowered site, you just top it up as you're driving around and exploring, and you can run it as powered.
That's an excellent idea, Well, we'll have to see. The only thing is, with a 230 volt outlet on it, whether it's got a 15 amp earth plug, because most caravans run 15 amp on the earth plug. but there is conversion systems you can get to run the 15 amp off a 10 amp earth.
So one of the main benefits that I see with this Ranger is the fact that this just turns into a mobile generator wherever you go. Because of this inverter, you've got a 15 amp socket, actually two 15 amp sockets here, which means you just get one of these, and you just plug it into the Caravan and it'll just run anywhere, and it just runs off the battery. And as I was saying in the car when we were driving, you drop off your van at your spot, you drive around, you use the generator mode in the car, and it just charges up and you can run it. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. Alright, so you get your 15 amp plug here, plug it in there. We're going to plug this one into the van. Like that. Now we come in here, and you can see it's actually already picked up that we've plugged it in, and we want to go into Power on Board Pro. So that's off. Hang on, and then we'll throw that on. You can see it does. In generator mode, your engine will continue to run. So that's the other good thing. So you're in an unpowered site, you know, you're on the side of the road like we are now to just show you this. But you're kind of not just stuck if the battery goes out, because this can, and depending on, you know, I can think of several situations where you might need this. The engine will just keep ticking over and topping up the battery to run it. So you could essentially run it all night as long as you got, you know, the fuel to get in and out of wherever you are as well. But turn that on. All right, now we're going to go into the van and sort that out. She's plugged in there. Side of the road, unpowered. All right. So if we come in here, so that fridge is running, getting nice and cold, and we've got the air conditioning running. You can, yep, that's getting cold as well. So the car will just, as it runs out of battery, just keep topping it up with the engine, and it'll just, you could essentially leave that overnight. It'll just in generator mode on and off to keep everything running in the van. Another thing on this Wildtrak is the electric Tawny as well. Now mats isn't my forte, but at 1230 watts, I feel like you're going to get a fair few hours out of that on a single charge. So even if you're just like using it to cool down the van before you go to bed or something like that, it's going to be useful, and you'll be able to do that for a fair few days just using the charge before you tick over to the petrol engine. Now another handy feature for when you're towing and traveling around is this trailer light check. So basically this allows you to do like your safety check on your lights without a second person. So while your missus or whatever is, you know, packing, you can do all the safety checks. So to do this towing section here again, checklist, next, we've already done all of that stuff. Already done all of that. All right, trailer light checker. At the start of the check, you don't need me to read all that for you. All right, so we're gonna go left, right. Okay, start. Checking your left. Oh, okay. No, we're not. We'll retry that. All right, left direction indicator, right direction indicator, brakes, reverse, fog, left. It stopped unexpectedly. What the bloody hell's going on here? All right, let's try this again. All right. So it was left, right.
One eternity later.
I swear to God, I've tried to do this thing about 15 times and it will not work. I've checked everything. All right, I'm going to do it one last time, and if it doesn't work, I'm going to deem it as, I don't know, too difficult. All right, start. Left indicator. They're not. What the hell? It's just... You can say something about me in the comments. I'm obviously a little bit too simple to get this going, but I'm going to chalk this one up as a no-go for me. So we're going to just head off. I have had a second person check them, so it is all fine though. So don't go saying anything about that. Let me know in the comments if you've managed to get this working. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. Okay, you can definitely feel the difference when there's weight on the back taking off, but I mean it's still doing a decent job of getting up to speed. At the end of all that driving around, the fuel economy for the towing came out to about 17.2 litres per 100, which sounds, you know, on the higher end, but I actually don't think it's too bad considering, you know, we're having a bit of fun with it. We're going up and down the hills, and there was a lot of stop-start. We weren't really, you know, out on the motorway or doing any highway Ks. It was all short kind of stop-start stuff. So yeah, 17.2. Let me know in the comments what you think about that as a fuel economy while towing.